Hey, welcome everybody to another Happy Martian Dragon Hammer cast. We're back at the Fantasy Flight Game Center following Chase again. He's coming into the second round as the recording dropped on our first match. Coming into the second round of this event up against Michael, playing his deck, what do we got here, Andy? The Giantmore, the 66.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't mess around with that. Yeah, so it looks like we had a little bit of technical difficulties on that first round. We don't know if he won or lost. Maybe won, maybe lost. It's a mystery to everybody. So looks like Chase brings out a staunch knight right away. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and Michael coming right back with two Witches of the Eye as well as an Nepenthes Seed, moving quickly into Untamed. And Michael will tell you quickly that Untamed is very much his favorite house.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you got the Witch of the Eyes right away. You're not going to be able to get full use out of them. Do you maybe mulligan that hand? Because I mean, you're not going to have anything in your discard, even if you can get them to reap off.
Absolutely. I think that's a great question. It really not a great card on turn one for exactly that reason. That said, it'll often provoke a reaction, and it sure did.
That is
You
true.
know, you never want to see a witch on the board across from you, any kind of witch, really. And Chase did a great job to answer them, but on your first turn, going second, usually a safe position is you know that your opponent is only going to be able to put down one creature, and of course Chase only had the one Staunch Knight, so a good likelihood, throwing down two of them there, that you're going to stick one, even though you may not get full use out of it, like you said.
All right, so we actually do have, looks like a Titan mechanic on the flank. Throwing down those keys, being cheaper at -1.
Yeah, and Michael playing a very aggressive deck, going to generate a lot of amber. Those cheaper keys could really make a difference. And we see him using that ammonia clouds to clear his own Witch of the Eye and to put a little bit of damage on Chase's guys.
Oh yeah, I mean when you got a Brobnar Sanctum lineup starting up in front of you, you got to start throwing damage on them somehow.
And Chase just dumping guys on the board.
Building that board up, saying, hey, if you don't do something soon, this is going to get nasty for you.
Certainly, and it almost has already. If Chase looked at this deck, he'll have seen that it's one that can blow up quickly, and that he's going to need to be able to keep it in check to prevent it from going that way. And Michael, interestingly, choosing to fight back against this, playing his second Ammonia Clouds.
I mean that'll clear off a lot of those Power 5, well, the one Power 5 Brobnar.
Yeah, I'll take off the Bumpsy. The Staunch Knight will take one damage.
Yeah, it looks like that Smash has Blood of the Titans on it, so it's now a 10 creature.
That's right. The Troll, of course, 8 power. Oh. And a Bolter, that's a 3 power creature on the board. But Chase calling Sanctum here. Continues to clear.
Oh, great positioning of the bulwark there, protecting your raiding knight who's captured one and your Frankus who's going to want to fight and capture.
Absolutely. We saw him almost go straight into the raiding knight. Caught himself and backed that up. There's the save the pack.
Clearing
So we're
half
getting
Chase's.
a lot of the stuff out of Michael's hand, a lot of his answers. We've seen 2 Ammonia Clouds and a Save the Pack. He's going to Full Moon a Witch of the Eye out off of the regrowth. So getting 2 Amber on that turn, clearing off a chunk of Chase's board, but again presenting something that's going to be easily answered. He is baiting Chase back into Sanctum here.
Yep, and I will say I think Michael's just digging. He's got a library access Nepenthe Seed deck, so I think he's searching for that library access. Start really drawing into his whole deck.
Yeah, that's certainly where I would want to be if I was in his shoes, knowing that this is not a place where I'm going to be able to take the board. I'm just going to be outmatched on this board. But he has not been able to move very many cards through the game so far. That scroll is going to help him a little bit.
Yep, popping that so that he can, archive 2 out of his hand and help move through. And I think he's debating on playing anything or just holding his Logos cards.
Yep. He wants to dig.
Yep. And I was going to say he opted not to. Just draw. Let's see.
And Chase with an interesting choice here. He can reap for 4, he can put himself on check, and he can really start to put the pressure on and dare Michael to have exactly the combo that he did not have on his last turn. Michael, who, as we've noted, has not been able to move very quickly through his deck, playing only 2 to 3 cards per turn. Chase sees the opportunity. Says, you didn't have it last turn, maybe you won't have it again. And he can call Sanctum twice in a row here and make it very difficult for Michael to respond.
If he calls Sanctum twice, just reaps out 4 both times. That puts him on, check for the first key, check for a second key, and it's definitely put the pressure on. With a deck like this, you don't want it to go off, and you want to put the pressure on as fast as possible.
Absolutely, and he's put the pressure on with the board already, which has worked very well for him. And what he's going to be able to do is now put the pressure on with the Amber, and if he can force Michael to respond rather than to look for his combo, then that pressure will be almost more valuable than the keys that he gets out of it, as he continues to slow down Michael's ability to move through his deck. So this time again, we see Michael playing only 2 cards, opting not to go for a turn where he can just dump things on the board, move through that deck, find that library access. And we'll see if Chase makes the same read again.
Yep, he's
Michael now 2 cards deeper. 2 cards more likely to have hit his combo. But that combo, not going to remove your Amber. When it goes off, he won't get a key out of it. We know that he doesn't have a way to... Here we go.
Chase got
he won't even be able to make the key.
Yeah, he pushed the pressure on. And now, it's like, do you get rid of some of the stuff? You got to start clearing some of the board.
Yeah. And you have 2 turns. You're not going to put the pressure on to get your you're not going to be in check on this turn. That's what I mean to say. We can see the key abduction there in Michael's hand. He's moving towards what he wants, but he still is looking for that big library access. And reaping and letting the witch live. We'll see if this one comes back to bite Chase. He does have an opportunity here to kill the witch while reaping for 3. He'll still be in a position to reap to check on his following turn, and he will have removed that tremendous threat. Michael immediately looking right into his discard pile to see.
Yeah, I believe he moved that witch to the top, so I think that witch might come back out.
Yep.
And you start to wonder what did he tuck in that, and that with that Mobius scroll. Did he throw something in there that just gets cards out of his hand?
I think we can be confident that that's going to be some Logos cards. And we see him just moving Logos cards out of his hand. Interdimensional Graft. Yeah, and Chase perhaps not punished here.
No, he may have gotten really lucky, and now he's at a situation where even if he reaps out for 4, puts him at check +2. He can only steal 1. So, and yeah, I think they're having a discussion saying, hey, are you digging? What's going on here?
Yeah. And he's talking about, I'm not having the right cards I need in my hand, but of course, what did we see? He's played only 2 cards per turn for most of this game. He's done a poor job of cycling.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at this point, you had to cycle. There we go, check. He's at check +2. He can steal 1. So let's see what happens, how he responds to this. He's got to get Chase off of 3 amber this turn, which with what he has currently, we don't really see that he could do that.
No, and knowing what's in his deck, we know that he's not going to be able to deny that much amber.
Yeah, and so I think Chase is saying, hey, let me take a look, see how many Logos cards are actually in there. If it does go off, it could be nasty. Or if there's
Yeah.
anything to steal or capture in there, I guess. See if
Right, and we
he
know there's nothing to steal or to capture. There's maybe a Dexter. We see the Bat Drone, and the choice to reap to 8 rather than to reap to 7 while killing the Bat Drone is an interesting one. We know that he's going to go into a Logos turn because it's his only choice. So that Bat Drone presents a 2 amber swing. You had the opportunity to remove it in order to do that, but the library access still not there as he leads off with the phase shift.
phase shifting into. Does he use the key abduction now? There we go. We got a battle fleet. So he's got 2. So
Drawing 2 and still fishing.
Yep, digging for that. Oh, didn't have to discard those. I'd say that's just a strictly show, not discard your Mars cards.
He's found his library access.
Yep.
To play the second library access, forgetting to draw off of his second library access. And he will cycle through at this point, unless he's out of Logos cards.
At this point,
There's the wormhole, and this will happen. It looks like he's gone off at this point. It's likely that he'll be able to phase shift his key abduction for a free key, and this will not be a shutout. And I think that that's all that we'll have. I think he's going to put on a little show for us, and then he's going to concede.
Oh, he may have
gotten there
to stop him on this key with a lucky wormhole.
Yeah, with that Batchon on board.
I was gonna say there's an easy steal, but is it something that maybe will get forgotten about? Oh, we're catching the whole he discarded. Yep. It was key abduction and Z6 the Memony. I remember. Play it back, guys. Play back the footage.
Michael's saying he's shuffled his key abduction into his deck.
Yep. Well, at this point, unfortunately, with the shuffle and whatnot, kind of just have to let that one say, well, that was a mistake. Let's not do it again.
And that Titan mechanic right there on the flank, putting Chase back into check. Is he going to lose because of that Titan mechanic? I think he might.
I'm going to say we saw that he had him off check. And let's see what comes out next. Hopefully phase shifting into... What are we phase shifting into? Was he just playing the phase shift to try to dig for that key abduction he mistakenly There it is. Oh, and the key abduction is also going to put him back onto check without any problems.
He'll make a free key, as suspected, putting on a little bit of a show.
Didn't
But
want
we
to
don't
get shut
expect
out.
that he will be able to go through enough times.
And
Well, perhaps he will. Perhaps he can play enough to cycle back through in order to
yeah, and I honestly
to
don't
key abduction
know
for free a second time.
if he drew off that key abduction or not.
Yeah. So a little bit of sloppy play. But when you're playing a library access and a Pentaseed, you often get away with that stuff.
Yeah, no, it does happen when you play a deck like that where there's so many moving parts at one time.
And a lot of Logos creatures in this deck, it's worth noticing. These are cards that go on the board only one time. They don't cycle through your deck with your double library access, allowing you to continually draw 2 cards off of them. They hit the deck, they draw 2, and then they're out there.
Yep, I was gonna say, and we've got right now he's got 6, so he's got half of his Logos.
He
There we
extends
go.
the hand, he concedes.
Yep, Chase definitely takes that one down. So we've got that going for him. So that puts him at question mark 1 question
At
mark.
least one win.
One
Now,
win, and we'll see what goes from there. So
I have scouted Chase's deck, and I know how many chains he has. So I do know the final score, so we'll be able to, upon completion of this cast, we'll be able to extrapolate what the result of his first game was.
there we go.
But for right now, we're going to jump straight into game 3.
Yep.
This
so
one, we're up against, it looks like
let me jump off real
Ian.
quick. And yeah, I was gonna say stay tuned for the next one.